Okay, so now we have moved on to pillar two, which is get on a set. It's all about creating your videos. Well, a big part of getting on a set and sharing your stories is making sure they're good stories. So this is where TEDx style stories come in. So this element is important in our communication, and it's important for engaging the audience. Now, I do not train TED Talk speakers. That's not my expertise. However, a colleague of mine she's one of the top TED Talk trainers. She's out of the Netherlands. And her and I actually put together a training on how to do TED Talks, especially on social media, right? But what I am going to share with you is how the way I teach people and the way Ninka teaches people are very similar in the messaging. The reason for that is, well, people are at the core the same. And there are certain things that we have in common that's, it's unavoidable. So when Ninka and I actually started talking about the way we put messages together, we found out it was very similar. That's when we got excited about working together. Okay. And so what I'm going to do with you is share with you what Ninka has shared, within our TEDx style, stories for Facebook Live. So Ninka van Bezorden, I always mess up her name, Van Bezorden. Okay, Ninka, I'm sorry. Okay, so anyways, so this is her TEDx style talk structure. And the very first one is start with the end in mind. The second thing is draw them in with your opening. So starting with the end in mind is that what is the reason? What's the purpose of this talk? Okay, once you know where you want to end up, then you go to the beginning, draw them in with your opening, right? The opening sentence, asking a question, making sure the audience is engaged has a lot to do with it. Okay, keep them hooked in the body. This is when you're educating people and how you tell the story. You want to make sure you keep them in there. And wrap up building excitement. Okay, when you're going to share something amazing with them, they're going to know the end result. People get excited and give them a smashing ending they'll never forget. Now, this is Ninka's structure for training TED Talk speakers. Well, in my training, I actually focus on the four types of people that are watching you. Okay. And so this way of putting the information together comes across, a little bit easier for my people to learn. Okay. And so what we want to focus on is like, who's watching you? Who's watching you? At all times, there are people that like to get information in different ways. And so if we keep that in mind, then the information that we put together is going to be for everybody that's watching, the different personalities that are watching. So I'm going to go in depth with it over here. So, and it's going to make a lot of sense to you. Okay, because you have been doing it, you've been responding to it. You're one of these personalities, and we have all four of them in us, by the way, but we are more of one than the other, than the other, than the other, right? Okay. So the very first kind of person is they're the why people. Let me go full screen over here. Okay. So the very first ones are the why people. Why should they listen? These are the people that want the information, the opening, the hook right away. If you notice, anytime you're putting anything out there, even on YouTube, they give you 4 seconds before you can actually skip the ad because people get a lot of information across to you in 4 seconds. So it's the hook, it's the opening. Why should they listen? If you don't grab their attention with that, the rest of it, they're not going to pay attention. Then no, they skip the ad. So the second kind of people are the what people. These are people who like structures. They want to know the steps. They want to know the 3 things that should be done, the 7 things that should be done, the 1 thing you must do, or the 12 steps to whatever it is, right? So they like structure. They want to know 1, 2, three. And if you notice that, pretty much all of the information that comes across, they tell you what's first, what's second, what's third. Now, the third kind of people that are watching are the how people. This is about how does it feel when they're watching something. They need to tap into their emotions. And this is where stories are so important, because when we're telling a story, people are going on a journey. When they go on a journey, they feel the excitement, they feel the story. And the fourth kind of person are these are the what if people. Now, you can't tell this person, this is what's going to happen. This is what you should do. If you start doing that, you're going to lose that. So what you do with this is to ask them, how could you use this? What's possible for you if you did this? And this right here is gold. Now, we are all these four kinds of people. Okay, we all want to know, is this relevant to me? We all want to know, is it easy? Can I do it? And if 3 things is much easier to do than 7 things, than 12 things, right? So that's why you see a lot of the 3-step process. Okay, and we all want to experience it. So telling a story of how it works, why it works, is really, really important. That's what draws us in. If we can experience it, then we can decide if we want it or not. Does it feel good or does it not? And then, of course, the what if people, the if somebody tells us this is what you should do, it's like, you don't know. But if they say, well, what's possible if you did this? What would the end result be? What would it look like for you? What could you do with it? Then we decide for ourselves how we can use it. And that's really important, because when we're serving people, it's about them getting the end result. And since they know themselves better than we know them, if we give them the right information, they'll be able to make the right decision. So this is the structure of TEDifying your stories. Okay. Now, the thing that comes along with it, once you understand the 4 different kinds of people, is that no matter what the messages, whether it's a 10-second commercial, whether it's a 3-hour movie, it doesn't make a difference. When they start telling the story, there is the script has to grab their attention. The hook is there to grab people's attention and have them wanting more. And the body is to educate, to gain trust. So remember, as long as you're teaching people, they need to be able to learn. Okay. And again, it doesn't make a difference how much time you have. The structure is the same. So once you grab their attention, you have to give them something that takes them to the next level. Okay. And finally, your call to action. This is, you have to give them a compelling reason to take it to the next step. Well, in this case, what is it that you are offering? Okay. What is it that you're offering? What do you want them to do? And it could be very simply to join your group. It could be to go watch the next video. As I've been telling you with these videos, I'm telling you what the next video is. So now you know, come back for the next video to watch it. That's a call to action. I'm telling you what's next. I'm telling you how it's going to help you, so you get to decide. Okay, so a script, it doesn't make a difference again what it is, whether it's a commercial, an infomercial, a movie, it doesn't make a difference. As you are putting information together, it's your script. And by the way, I'm not talking about regular movies, I'm talking about educational, okay? So the hook, the body, and your call to action, that's the structure. Now, that particular, training is in the, and here we go full screen. Okay, it's about TEDx style stories, and it's TEDify your message to supercharge your impact. Okay, now it's about guiding your audience through transformation. You want to be able to incorporate TEDx style stories in your interviews, presentations, webinars, seminars. And again, this is about you knowing how to tell a story in a way the audience wants to hear, in a way the audience can move with you and have a transformation in the end. It could be an aha moment, it could be something educational that they actually learn how to do something. Whatever it is that you want to get across to help them, this is how you do it. Okay, so that's in. Again, look at the schedule. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step in the get ready. Watch for the next video.